And hello, Virtual TrekCon. We have a short stream today, so let's get going. Thank you. I just want to join. I want to thank everybody who's joining us from Virtual TrekCon. Yeah, some of you guys are coming over from that awesome panel with Dominic and Connor Trenier and Dominic Keating, and of course Ryan, Sirach, and Melissa. We all want to thank Ryan, Sirach, and Melissa for this awesome opportunity to be part of Virtual TrekCon again. Last time, of course, we were doing Dark Matter during a prior Virtual TrekCon. So it's an honor. Really quick, hello, Maria. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you today?
What's new on your channel?
Oh my gosh, so much going on. I've filled up my whole month of April already. Got some great stuff coming. Let's see. Gosh, I don't even know where to start. I just have so many things coming up. I've got Dave Beatty, and Eric coming. I have Dino again. I've got, gosh, I can't even remember. I have to ask my producer.
All right, we will ask your producer to fill us in the chat. And
it is pretty full. But
I like Maria's job. She just sits back and looks pretty and lets everyone else do the work.
I don't know about that, but yeah, I don't know what I would do without her though. Yeah.
Doctor and science fiction author Adega Outlaw, what is new with you in your books?
I actually found a way. We're going to. I decided to listen to Brandon Sorensen, the guy who sold a lot of fantasy books and is making a lot of money. And he said if he had to do it over again, he would do independent. So instead of monkeying around with the different companies that have been juggling over my books, I'm just going to go independent. So about a month, you'll start seeing them roll out.
Okay, and what is it? What is it? That's awesome. Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
What's that YouTube channel that you're writing for?
Oh, I write for Top Fives. They're 3.4 million, maybe a little bit more by now. They do things on supernatural, bizarre stuff, the top fives of this or that or the other. They have several different channels, some on alien stuff, some on, they're doing a new one, medieval stuff. They do one on space. So yeah, I write for them. They contacted me one day and said, hey, we like your stuff, write for us. So I said, okay, twist my arm.
Awesome. Thank you guys for both for co-hosting. And if anything goes absolutely crazy, I'm glad to know that you guys are here to take over. No pressure, Maria. Okay, just one real quick announcement. Everybody, most of you all know here that we are doing a Dark Matter and Orville Raffle. We have some screen-used items. We want to thank, of course, Melissa O'Neill, Joe Malazzi, Tom Costantino, who donated this awesome badge from the Minority Rules episode. So thank you, Tom, and Seth, of course. Thank you, Seth MacFarlane. Thank you guys all for helping, because the raffle, of course, is going to a member of the community and the YouTube family that is on the transplant list for a kidney, Rambling Canuck, and the raffle is for him. We have several items. Most of them are from the Dark Matter show, including a really cool Raza ship that there are none available. So if you want to get your own Raza, I will be putting up images every once in a while, and the instructions are below on this stream. So let's begin. Again, thank you to Ryan, Sirach, Melissa, and the whole Virtual TrekCon clan. Thank you guys. Okay, let's bring in the ladies first. And we have here some of the cast from the Planetary Step show. And let's start out with Jolton Joe. Colton. Hello, Joe. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
It's an honor to have you. Thank you for joining us. And can you tell us again what your character is on the Planetary Step?
I am Captain Emmett of the USS Starliner.
That's right.
All right.
Starliner. Awesome. And what do you have? Anything you want to announce that's coming up with you, Joe?
I I don't know. Okay, so I've got a couple of secret projects coming up. I'm working on some DC stuff, some planetary step stuff. I just started talking to a company that I can't talk about yet, so we might be doing some adverts and stuff for them. Still doing some screenings for movie theaters and some comic companies. Trek Girls got some merch that we kind of handed out on the Star Trek cruise, so hopefully that'll be up soon. And then I don't know. That's it. Cons are starting back up, so new costumes, I guess.
Yes, costumes and cosplay. That's fantastic.
Let the fun begin.
Yep, and prosthetic work and like having to do stuff on people and paint them and put prosthetics on and dress them up.
Let me just say really because I'm a little rushed because we have a full panel, guys. I just want to say really quick hi to the chat. Hello, Galinda, Louise, Tracy, Troy, Kimber, Terry, everybody who is out there. Matt, Brian, Medallion, Tony Rodriguez, Louise, Brad. Everybody who is out there. I'll be putting up your comments as I can. And really quick, guys, thank you again for the super chats. Today's super chats are going to be going directly to Ramblings Fund. Thank you, ETEP. Hail to this amazing panel. Thank you, guys. Thank you again. John Burns, good to see you, John Burns. Or instructions below. Okay, yeah, they're about to be put up. Thanks, John. And Mexican Iron Man for the super sticker. Thank you, Mexican Iron Man. Please, ETEP, put in your channel. Thank you, Mexican Iron Man, for that super sticker, guys. And forgive me, guys, for running through the super chats today, but we have like an hour to go. So I am going to run through. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for those super chats. All right. Really quick, let's bring in the next guest, a fellow crew member from the Planetary Step. Hello, Adia Cosplay.
Hello there. Hi, everybody.
Welcome, Adia. And can you tell us, please put in your channel, ETEP. Can you tell us, Adia, remind us, what is your character on the
My character is Dr. Lori Green on the ship. And one of the things I would say is she is very studious, but accidentally comical at the same time. She's a little combination of both. She's so serious to the point where it actually turns around where she ends up being funny. But at the same time, she's really almost like a perfectionist about her job, but she really enjoys working with the crew that she is working with on the ship.
Very nice.
Awesome. And while we wait for the Orville, you guys want to check out the Planetary Step, and I'm going to be putting up Eric's channel right now where you can watch it. And I think the most appropriate person to bring in next would be, of course, Eric. And here we are. Welcome to Eric the Smoke. Hello, Eric, Captain Eric.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? How's everybody doing today?
Good to see you again.
All right.
How are you? Can you remind us what is your character on the Planetary Step, Eric?
My character is Captain David Gerald of the USS Eisenberg, and our series is basically it's that little pre-meal that you get before the main course. So we're the pre-meal before the main course, which is basically we're setting the tone before season 3 for the Orville New Horizons to come. So for all those fans that are hungry for the Orville to come back, we're giving them, as fans, we're giving them a little bit of something to play with before the Orville returns. And basically the response we've gotten has been really, 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 really positive. And I mean, I have some of my cast and crew, or mainly my cast, on my background, because since a lot of them couldn't make it. So this is who you see it back here. Episode 2 was really, we had a really positive response for episode 2. We were really disinspired by Seth and the whole cast and crew of the Orville and stuff. So this is our way of showing our appreciation, how much we love the series. So again, and there's so much more to come. I can't wait for you guys to see what's coming up on episode 3.
All right. Awesome, Eric. Thank you, my friend. And this, of course, is Eric's channel. Make sure you guys are subbed and watching Planetary Step, guys. Again, guys, thank you. All the donations are going to Rambling Canuck. Guys, thank you, War Dog Heim. Thank you, guys. Awesome. Thank you so much for the kidney. Thank you, guys. Oh, I have to turn off my toucan. It's translating. Sorry, guys. Thank you, War Dog Heim. And thank you, Captain Spire. Full speed ahead. Thank you so much for the $10 ahead. I'm looking forward to more Orville. Awesome. And let's also remember, guys, that we are also remember Aaron Eisenberg here in the Planetary Step, as the ship is called the Eisenberg.
That's right.
All right. Let's bring in Matt from Pranakasha Productions. Hello, Matt. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Hey there, PJ.
Tell us really quick about your channel and what's coming up, Matt.
First off, I want to congratulate you on pronouncing it almost correctly. Pranakasha Productions.
Pranakasha Productions.
There you go. You did it.
You.
Yeah, so, well, a big thing that's happening on my channel these days is I'm doing a lot of interviews. So I was going to do like one a week, but it got so popular, I'm doing like 2 or 3 a week now. So that's
Wow.
a big thing, and they're doing quite well. And I like it because it doesn't take a whole lot of editing, as opposed to our Star Trek fan series, Egotastic Trek, that stars me as Captain Hardinger, and then also JP as Captain Jason T, aka Teddy Bear Powell. Now those tend to last about 30 minutes to 45 minutes these days, but it takes like 9 months to a year to do one episode because there's so much editing involved. But we have 3 episodes so far, and I am working as hard as I can to get episode 4 done so we can get that out, hopefully.
And those episodes with JP are something you guys are going to want to watch. And I'm going to put in the link right now.
Okay. Muchas gracias.
And please remember that the link for the raffle is below, and it is now in there. So let's bring in. We have 2 more guests to bring in, and thank you, Matt, for joining us. Of course, I want to welcome, of course, Shane from the Podcast Guys. Welcome, Shane.
Hey there.
Thank you for joining us, my friend.
Happy to be here. Always good-looking people.
What is new with the podcast? And maybe you want to tell us about Podcast Unleashed to make sure we get the word out.
Yeah, the Podcast Prime channel it's cranking along. It's got its weekly, semi-documentary, whatever show you want to talk about. I think tomorrow we've got something coming out on. I think we're doing something about Kirk, the new Kirk coming out.
Oh.
That's tomorrow, and then on the Unleashed channel, we've been focusing on our live shows again. We've gotten away from that for a while. So, come on over and check out the Unleashed. We're live on Fridays for a couple hours every Friday, and we do some other stuff during the week. But, it's a lot of fun. So,
And that second channel is where you're allowed Brian to go on Unleashed?
Yeah, Brian gets to be unleashed. We had to have a live version of the show so he could just lose his mind. So that's where it happened. So. And of course, he couldn't be here today. He wanted to be here, but he couldn't. So,
awesome. Well, thank you for joining us. We appreciate that. Don't forget, guys. This is Pranakasha's channel, and we're gonna put up. That's Matt's channel, Pranakasha Productions, and we're gonna put up the podcast now. And let's bring in our last guest. And of course, we saved the Orville Evangelist for the very last. Welcome to JP Egotastic. Hello, JP. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, everybody. Hey, gang. Jaloja one and all. Now, I do have to say, you guys, if for those of you who are coming over from an Enterprise panel, I have to say the Orville, in my heart, is the one carrying the torch for Enterprise. So much of the crew, the writing staff, all came from Enterprise. So they're carrying that spirit into the Orville. And if you just watch it, you love it like I do, like we all do, you will see some of the Enterprise touches in the show.
Absolutely. and even Ensign Rivers himself.
Ensign Rivers himself. And of course, the Orville season 3 is coming out very soon. It's been a long time getting from there to here, but it's almost here, you guys.
Nice.
All right, guys, I'm going to ask, thank you all for joining us. I'm going to put up Shane's and JP's channel as we talk now. I want to go around and I want to ask everybody. I thought it was really interesting that the Roddenberry Entertainment channel is actually reviewing the Orville now, and they're doing a great job over there. Their team is doing a great job. Now, really quick, and let's start. Let's go, ladies first. Let's go, Adia. Is the Orville Trek, and if so, why? And the same question for Joe next.
That is a very good question. I will say, after watching the first season of the Orville, there were quite a few episodes that felt like Trek. And I can give an example where I believe, let's see, one of the Orville episodes from the first season, I believe was Majority Rule. And it reminded me of the times when a lot of the crew of the Next Generation would go either on holodeck and be in these simulations and go through experiences that we are in modern times and how it affected the society then. And they, on that episode, had parallel culture, and they talked about the results. Everything was cash and carry, all those things. It felt like it hit home a lot the way it felt like with me when I watched Star Trek The Next Generation. So to me, I'm going to say yes. I'm just a little biased.
Okay. And of course, we as Orville super fans, everybody is on this panel. We all know that the Orville is its own thing in many ways. But again, so Joe, why is it also Trek? If so, if you think it is.
I definitely think it is. It pays a lot of homages to Trek, and also like the feel. Like even though like Trek was very people say like it's more serious. That was like the first couple of episodes of the Orville, and then it got right into it. Like it felt Trek. It had what was it? Episode 4 was like it had real world connectivity to it, and it approached a lot of topics that we deal with in the real world. So I think it's very much Trek. Like, I don't know. I love it. So I love both.
And Maria, what do you think? Why is it Trek? If you think it is.
Well, I think so too. It gets compared a lot for obvious reasons, and you can obviously see, because he was such a fan of it, that there's some in there. For example, like, well, the kind of the wild humor, but that 2-part episode, Identity, from season 2, you can kind of see a lot of it in that. So
the writing in that is definitely Trek.
Yes. So you know, there's kind of no denying it. But I mean, it still has. It's amazing that it still can stand on its own completely, but yet have, similarities in there where you can catch them.
Hey, let me just say hello to Melissa. Hello, Melissa. Thank you for joining us. Hello, Melissa. And really quick, guys, thank you to Domestic thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the Rambling Canuck, for Rambling Canucks family, where that's going to be headed. And thank you, John Burns. Next month at the Calgary Comic-Con, William Shatner is allegedly appearing. The cast of the show called Trailer Park Boys with John Candy created this. Wow, that's interesting. Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. Thank you, John Burns. Thank you so much to all the super chats, guys. And sorry today for rushing through them. Adega, what are you thoughts?
Well, can you say that again?
Adega okay. Outlaw. Sorry,
I'm a classic Trek fan. I'm one of the minority. I shouldn't say complete minority, but I also really like Voyager, and the reason being is, in a solid science fiction without the science fantasy, exploration, new world, new things to see. And when you slapped on the Orville, I sat down the first time. I'm going, this is all new world. I love the comedy, but the exploration is there. the societal order is there. I shouldn't say militaristic, but I guess that would be the closest word, structure of it as operations of a ship, even though severing off someone's leg is, part of day-to-day life on the ship. It really did feel like Trek. And the comedy was, I just think it's genius. I cannot see it not fitting in the Trek universe except for name only.
Yeah. And Melissa says the Orville is great. So many of the stories have the same kind of moral thought lines that classic Trek has done so well. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Agreed.
Eric,
Yes.
is it Trek?
Oh my God, where do I begin? I mean, I've said this before as someone who's also a hardcore Trek fan, and with Orville, to me, when I started watching Orville, it was a perfect fit. I mean, I fell in love after the first episode. I fell in love instantly. There were so many episodes that had embers of Next Gen, embers of Deep Space Nine, embers of classic Trek. Every time I watched it, I was like, from the music to the atmosphere, I felt like I was watching an extension of the Star Trek universe, but in its own, doing its own thing. Where there's no restrictions and they're able to just cut loose. I think it was even more remarkable is you have a lot of the Star Trek alum going, appearing on the series and all. The storylines are so amazing. I mean, About a Girl really, like I said, About a Girl left me on an emotional, like, oh my God, they went there. Like, I didn't think they were going to, like, when you saw the first episode, you were like, okay, Seth is going to probably go the comedy route. But then when About a Girl came out, I was like, oh, whoa, they went there. And then the episode Home really was like from one extreme to the next. And I'm sitting there like, oh my God. And again, they basically, Seth not only took it one level up and showing Peyton homage, but he decided to tip the whole thing over and just say, look, I'm showing you how much I love Trek. I'm going to do my own thing. And it was so much inspiring to see that and all. And again, one of the reasons why I live, sleep, talk, walk Orville as much as I do with Trek. So yeah, goes without saying. Yes.
Mr. Pranakasha.
All right.
What do you think? Is it Trek? And you certainly have a lot to say here.
Well, yeah. So the short answer is hell yeah. Okay. The shorter answer, but actually in a sense it's a longer answer, is I'm sure you've heard the expression, a picture paints 1,000 words. Well, if a picture can paint 1,000 words, a T-shirt can paint 10,000 words.
Nice shirt.
Oh no,
Matt, you beat me.
So,
no.
hey, the question is
Very
not,
nice.
is it Trek, but what kind of Trek is it?
Yeah.
And the answer, according to this, is
Absolutely.
But notice there's like a rainbow warp trail. Did you catch that part?
Did you notice every color adheres to the different disciplines on the ship?
Like there's so many layers to this T-shirt. It just goes on and on. It's like a holographic T-shirt that has like tens of dimensions to it. It's not 3-dimensional. It's like a 10-dimensional T-shirt.
And guys, don't forget, you can get this on JP's store, right, JP?
That's right. The store is now on Mixed Tees.
Can you throw us a link in the chat, in the private chat?
All designs are on Mixed Tees. Isn't that right, Shane?
You have all the designs, but do you have all the
They are
sizes?
sexy.
I
think
don't
they're on the
have
front page
access
right
to
now.
the chat. I guess I got to log in or something. It doesn't give me a way of typing into the chat.
Okay.
So similarly, that a picture paints 1,000 words or a T-shirt paints 10,000 words, JP is the man of 1,000 voices and 10,000 T-shirts.
I'm getting there.
It's like 100,000 altogether, I think, right?
Yeah. It's very important to me to have the fandom covered, literally.
Awesome. Shane, what about you? Is the Orville Trek as well as its own identity?
Matt stole my line.
Sorry about that.
Absolutely Seth Trek. No, I think, this is such a good question because Seth Trek is the only answer. When Seth decided he wanted to do Star Trek, they told him no. So he went and did his own thing. And so you see that when it begins in the first season, and you're like, okay, yeah, this is how I envision Seth, what we know of him, doing Star Trek. It's funny, it's maybe a little bit slapstick and kind of outrageous in the beginning, but then they just turn a corner, and there's this change comes over, and it immediately got all of our attention. So, whoa, hold on a second. This is better Star Trek than we've had in a long, long time. And, the episodic value of it, it's just the character building. It's just a gorgeous homage and a tip of the hat to Star Trek. And Orville's its own thing, but it has the soul of Star Trek, and that's what I would say.
Awesome. And go ahead, Eric.
I said, well said.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. I like
go
that.
get a JP shirt at mixtees.com. I agree. They're sexy.
Yeah, just type in Egotastic Fun Time. Or you can go to Egotastic Fun Time and you'll see the shirt and it'll take you right back to Mixed Tees.
Yeah.
Here's the link, guys. And JP, what about you? You've also focused your channel up completely on the Orville pretty much, right? Because you have two channels. But is the Orville Trek, JP?
Well, I'll give you two answers from two different time periods. 2017, JP says yes, the Orville is Star Trek. That's the Star Trek feels that I got from the Orville right off the bat, especially episode 2, Command Performance. That's where I really was getting those Trekkie feelings that I had when I was younger, or even more so now when I go back and watch Legacy Trek and things like that. But in the episode 8, season 1, Into the Fold, the show just takes a turn. It just becomes its own thing. There's a huge shift. So going forward in time to the present, back to the present, 2022, JP says the Orville, while still maintaining the spirit of the whole purpose of there even being a Star Trek, the Orville is the Orville. Mm-hmm. And I'll go down through the next 6 or 7 seasons of the Orville, fingers crossed, with that feeling in my heart. Also, I still watch a lot of Star Trek.
And yeah, we there's even some people from the production crew who are working both on Orville and Trek. So that's
Kit Stolen.
Can I just make one quick suggestion on a merch?
Yeah.
Just I want some Orville slippers in the ship. Like if you have ship.
Somebody who's able to make slippers. I don't have the ability to make slippers, but I've looked into a lot of different things that I would like to make. I just don't have and designs for those things. I just don't have a way of doing them unless I look up YouTube how to sew and stitch.
Nobody would see me walking around my living room. Huh?
I'd like to watch him do slippers.
I would too. I'd be in my living room all. Okay, I didn't say that.
And this guys right here is where you can get your Mixed Tees, Egotastic stuff and Popcast stuff and a lot of other stuff from several other channels. That's awesome.
Absolutely. Mixed Tees has a ton of great stuff for nerdy people like us, from a lot of channels and creators that you're already aware of. But yeah, if you go there, there's a lot more Orville fandom stuff to check out. And just so you know, everything I've designed seems to have been approved by the Orville. They told me if they ever had any problems with my designs, they would let me know. So far, so good.
That's great. And can you talk about that real quick, JP, and anybody else who knows anything about it? They have been really good with the fans, right, regarding that stuff.
They have been the absolute best with the fans. They have relationships with the fans. I mean, I have spoken to some wonderful people from Star Trek. When I did my Picard Season 1 reviews, I did get a really nice email from production thanking me for the reviews. And you know, because I try to go... When I do reviews, I always, besides cracking wise all the time, I always try to go deep into the psyche of the show or the episode of the characters, and they really appreciated that, so they did reach out to me. But not like the Orville. The Orville's like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Long time no talk. How you been? They are there for everybody, which is amazing. I'm like, you guys, you know, I try to never bother them because I'm like, you guys need to go make that show. Get that show ready for us, and then we'll talk.
Absolutely. Well, and listen, JP brings up a good point, and there's a special atmosphere in dealing with the production crew and in the community in itself. And in that spirit, I thought that as we go through talking about the Orville, that we should probably give a nice warm welcome to its newest crew member. And of course, we will start by talking about speculating, because our channels love to thrive on speculation, on this new crew member named, the crew member's name is Charlie Burke, played by Ann Winters.
There she is.
There she is. And Joe, what do you think we might see in this new character, Joe?
I don't know, but I'm very excited. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Now, very excited. Okay. Do you have any crazy idea? You know what? Anybody who wants to jump out?
Yeah.
Anybody have any crazy ideas where this character might start off?
I did a whole video about this last week. I think Charlie is going to bring youth, a more of a youthful vibe back to the crew that we lost when Halston left. Maybe even more so. My guess is that she's going to be brilliant for her age, because she's younger. I'm guessing she's going to be probably a little sassy, but also not necessarily green at her job, but maybe green at dealing with other crewmates. And I'm hoping that she has some skills in dark matter cartography, which was a big deal. The ship was not prepared for dark matter in the episode Prius in season 1 with Charlize Theron. And in season 2, the spy, which ended up being Talia, the Krill from the Krill, she got hired on to be a dark matter cartographer. So I'm hoping that plays is played out with this character. But I can't wait to see how she interacts with Gordon, because Gordon's going to be sitting right next to her anytime they're on the bridge. So I'm very interested to see how she goes with that. But I think she's going to be sassy, cool, hip, just like Ann is. I met Ann just a couple months ago. We chatted a little bit, and she's a cool person. She's hip, she's cool, she's nice, she's fun, and I think she's going to bring all of that to this character.
I think based on this picture alone, it's going to be very sassy, which I'm excited for. But I'm excited.
Anybody else think she's looking kind of Han Solo-ish here?
I'm really interested to see what her character.
I got a feeling there's going to be a lot of female cosplayers cosplaying her. I already can see it. And in my viewpoint, I think Gordon's going to be somewhat mentoring her, even though she's going to probably make a name for herself and do her thing. I think Gordon is going to be probably somewhat mentoring her, because his year, like, oh, my time on being the pilot, Gordon being Gordon and everything else. But I think she's going to be a pleasant surprise for a lot of people, for the fans that have been watching so far.
Yeah, very interesting. I'm really interested to see what her character's like. Like in this picture, she looks really tough looking. But as JP can attest, we both met her in real life, the actress, down at the concert, and she's actually quite small, very thin. It just kind of attests to the magic of camera angles, because in this picture she looks super tough, but in real life it's, well, who's that? Then I realized this is the new Bridge character.
Yeah, I do think that pistol on her hip might say something about the character.
Yeah. Maybe she'll be another Starbuck or something like that.
Maybe she's a weapons master.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it's the contrary in me, but I would love to see her be like the anti-Wesley, where she's smart but just a social dolt, and she tries to learn from Gordon, and they both keep making tons of mistakes. But who knows?
Yeah, she might butt heads, and then that's part of her story arc, is to learn how to work with people.
Right.
Or she just might be there and just be awesome and just have some great one-liners and a couple of great stories.
She does have a line in the preview that we got to see where she's questioning authority.
Yeah, it sounded like she was talking to Captain Mercer.
Right.
Your crew is scared, Captain. She speaks her
she's
mind.
obviously not afraid to speak her mind, so that'll be,
Now we saw somebody put up a comment. Mercer Create put up a comment about maybe she's related to the admirals, and it just caught my eye because that was the next picture I was putting up, and we see her here with Admiral Ted Danson.
He's back, you guys.
Yay!
He's back where everybody knows his name.
Yeah.
Storm.
I'm still predicting, by the way, guys. I'm still predicting there will be a Ted Danson, George Costanza moment at the bar sometime.
There has to be.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah.
With Alex.
We haven't seen Ted Danson on the actual ship yet, so it would be great to see more of the admirals take a visit to the ship. I think we've seen Azawa and Halsey. I don't remember seeing any of the other admirals actually walking around the Orville. So that'd be nice.
Excellent point. Yeah. Anybody have any other crazy, wild ideas about what might happen with this character? Feel free to speak now.
Well, I think because I've been obsessed with Isaac. Isaac's story as he tries to become more human without wanting to become more human, but he keeps learning and adjusting, and he's still dealing with the situation with Claire. So I'm thinking he wants Claire back, but how's he going to do that? Is he going to try to make her jealous, or is he going to, make a plea for her to come back? I'm thinking he's going to take bad advice from either Gordon or John and start flirting with other girls on the ship or whoever on the ship to make her jealous. She's new to the ship, so I'm thinking he might try to flirt with her in a robot way.
Interesting. Anybody else before we wrap up with Ann Winters?
Okay.
She could be like a drill specialist, her children who's spent on the borders learning about these people. And, she knows nothing about humans, but knows a lot about them. Just a guess.
Does anybody think there's going to be a special dynamic between Charlie Burke and Gordon, like there was before with John and Gordon?
I think it's going to take some time. I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards the relationship is going to have to develop. I think he's going to think that he can maybe kind of pick up in that comedic way that he was, but I think they're going to clash for a little bit before they finally learn to get along, just to make it interesting.
Yeah, I don't think she's going to fall for his shtick. At least not for a while. Maybe she has her own shtick.
Yeah. She seems more of a by-the-book kind of person, and he likes to break rules, so I think that's going to make him clash. I don't know. What do I know?
All right, guys. Well, listen. Let's go through the and we give that was our warm welcome to Ann Winters, or the newest crew member of the Orville. Welcome aboard, and we look forward to seeing you. As we go through, I'm going to put up pictures of the rest of the cast, and I would like everybody to participate in seeing, what might saying or sharing what they might think might happen in season 3 with the characters that we're showing. So we were talking about Gordon. So I have this picture of both Gordon and John. Let's start from the top. Adega, what do you think might happen with these two guys? With either of them?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Sorry, Adega.
You want to take it, so if you want to go for it.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I'm still thinking. I'm still thinking, but it's being that I know season 3 is going to, we believe might look very different than the first 2 seasons. I think because of maybe the change in the writing or whatever that might take place on the Orville, I think their relationship is going to still be good, but I think it's going to get incredibly more complicated. And I'm not sure why, but it feels like it's the way to go with the two of them because they're really good. They have good chemistry, but I would be curious to see how they would work out an even more complicated dynamic that just suddenly appears in the series this season.
Okay. Adega, what about you?
I heard the D that time. Sorry. I don't have a clue, to be honest. I think whatever it is, and I'm hoping whatever it is, it will not be something that we expect. Too often do we see, even in some comedy, the stories will move along in very obvious ways. Even, like I said, even in comedy. I'd like to see them mad at each other for a while, or where they're having to do something quite extraordinary together that we wouldn't expect. But when part of the time when the season ended, we saw Gordon doing some heck of a piloting skills on his own in a fighter. Maybe there's some storyline that could go there where they work on something new. I don't know. I'm just hoping I'm surprised.
Okay. Really quick, Maria, what about you? Any theories?
Yeah, that one is hard. I think because we like the two of them together and they work so well, that the writers are purposely going to make us mad by having them not be mad at each other. Like Tig said, it's just kind of an uncomfortable feeling to see that they're, that they wouldn't get along. But I don't know, man. That one's a tough one too. They keep hiding like information from Jaylee. I call him Jaylee. So, and I think it's going to start coming out little by little, and that might actually cause the wedge between them. I don't know. Maybe.
Okay. And of course, Jay makes Maria snort.
Yeah.
Joe, what about you?
I feel like there's going to be something that happens that kind of gets them, like, there's a tension that begins, and then like something will culminate where they come back together, and it'll be like this funny, like, I love you, man. Like, I just want to see something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But like the whole time there's like tension, and they'll like separate and we'll hate it, and then they'll come back together.
Yeah.
Okay, and of course, this picture is when they were showing Bortus. They were about to show Bortus the Rudolph video. Go ahead, Eric. What about you? What do you think is going to?
Well, I think Gordon and John. I tend to disagree. I think Gordon and John is going to be for Gordon because if we remember prior season, Gordon wanted to try to almost think about being part of command and everything else. I think Gordon, they may revisit that because he might want to really think about doing command down the road. Because he's seeing all of his friends moving up the ladder like John and stuff. And I think with John and both Gordon, they're going to be up to a couple different shenanigans. I mean, I don't think they're going to be at odds with each other. I think, especially with Bortus, with Bortus and you got everyone basically with Isaac and all, they're going to be sitting back and watching them up to their little shenanigans and all, and playing little jokes and all. I still think that John and Gordon are going to be still good. I just think that individually they're going to be tested a little bit more in the series and all, on their own personal journeys and all. We saw John go through his personal journey, and you see Gordon going through his and all. So I think individually they're going to have their own little personal journeys. It's not going to be so much bumping heads, but it's going to be more of a personal journey for both of them, for their character arcs to be a little bit more where you're getting more to know about John's character. You're getting to know more about Gordon and their little backstories and all. I think that depending on how the writing goes, I think that the writing could take them where the fans get to know a little bit about Gordon's backstory and a little bit more about John's backstory. Mm-hmm. So I think overall, I don't think they're going to be at odds this season. I don't think so. They're going to be doing more crazy stuff together, but I don't think they're going to be at odds.
What about, all right, Matt, what about you?
Okay, well, I can't predict what's going to happen, but I'll tell you what I want to happen, which is, I mean, we found out that Gordon can sing and he's got a great voice, right? Well, we should find out that secretly, not only is John like a super genius engineer, but he also was a great pianist. So I would love to see John playing piano and Gordon singing.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't be surprised. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. He's a good piano player. Shane,
Yeah,
what about you?
Great.
I think Eric probably had it best here. You know, Gordon's character is, you know, we see a lot of growth in him. From the beginning of the show, it's just kind of, he's had this steady growth, and he's just this interesting character that's gone from, you know, being not taken very seriously to kind of over the first couple seasons growing incredibly. And I think into season 3, we're going to see that growth really go up. He's going to have more responsibility. Something's going to happen that's going to switch him to make him more like Ed, I would say, in taking off in that direction. The thing with John's character is that when they took him from the helm to engineering, it was that immediate boost of, oh wow, he's a genius. And so he had that kind of character leap happen really fast. And there's not a lot more growth you can get from that character from a job performance point of view. And we've got to see, you know, that he's a ladies' man, obviously, and you know, so I think we're going to get more of that. But I think you're going to see a lot more Gordon character growth, and they're going to have their shenanigans. And I know this season's going to have a lot of serious stuff in it. So yeah, that's kind of what I think.
Okay. What about you, JP?
Spoiler alert. I find things out about this show. So spoiler alert, everybody. John and Gordon do get stranded in a shuttle in New Horizons, and they get drunk waiting for help to arrive. They talk about how Bortus has a nice bum. That I do know happens. No, in season 3, John is going to be hitting the dating scene, and Gordon is going to be learning more about why he has a hard time allowing himself to be taken seriously. There's a hole inside of him that he needs filled, and he's going to explore trying to fill that hole. No dirty thoughts.
You know what? But he might end up saying something like, I can see Gordon say, I need something to fill my hole or something like that.
Yeah.
Now entering glory hole.
You know?
Yes, Connor would be great. We already got Maria snorting.
Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I'm gonna put up another guest. But I'm gonna put up another cast member. But I think we're just gonna go for free for all for time's sake. And let's go with Dr. Finn. What do you guys think is going to be going up with Dr. Finn? Of course, the boys are fair game in that question.
Her life is going to be having a huge change, apparently, with her family dynamic, her relationship. I know that stuff is supposed to be coming up with her in this new season. What that means, your guess is as good as mine, even though my guess will probably be better.
You know what? I think what we got a little bit of a taste of the sneak preview. I think the boys are going to have some, or at least one of the kids are going to have some issues, whether it's post-traumatic stress or something. From that little sneak preview we got, the possibilities with the kids and her trying to help them get through that, or one of the boys or both of the boys to get through that, at the same time dealing with her relationship with Isaac. Her, you know, will she not? We don't know. We got to wait and see. So I think, I think we're going to be in for a ride with her.
You know, and after 3 years, the boys have really grown, and that's something that is going to be interesting to see. That, you know, to go from season 2, you know, which we're going to probably watch right up until season 3, and then to see that change in them is going to be pretty shocking, I think.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to hide their growth spurts,
right?
Yeah, and of course, let's not forget about Topa, who's grown up like in 3 years, right?
He might be 20-something. I mean, Topa became an 8-year-old in 3 months, which is all aligned with Mocklin physiology and biology. Who's to say they stop at 8? Maybe it keeps going faster and faster. Maybe Bortus is only 15 years old.
That would
Question
explain a lot.
for everybody here. And does anybody see a Sirach and Avery reunion with Dr. Finn?
That would be nice.
You know what?
That would be nice.
You know, someone already asked me about what I thought if Avery would show up on Picard and all. You know, if that happens, a lot of people are going to be very pleasantly surprised. It would be great to see Sirach and Avery show up on Orville in some kind of capacity, some kind of nod to their relationship from DS9. Hey, look, anything is possible with the Orville. After we got both doctors in the home episode, we had both doctors from both series together on the screen at the same time. So anything is possible. Look, I don't think anybody would disagree to see either one of them or both of them together, or all three of them together in some capacity, showing up on the Orville. You know, so I know I would be extremely happy to see.
Let me just say real quick here to Mercer Creates comments. It was made very clear to us by Sirach when he was a guest on Orville Nation. Avery was not getting offered anything, and he was open to stuff because we all thought that he would be kind of retired from public view, but it doesn't seem so. Actually, in reality. Sorry, I cut somebody off. Who was it?
No, I was finished saying what I had to say, but
Okay.
like I said again, I think he may surprise everyone. He may show up on the Orville. He may show up on Picard. He may show up on both. Anything is possible, and I mean, I'm all for it. I'm all totally game for it.
The Orville production has gotten really good at keeping things close to the vest.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been a long time since he has been in anything significant. So 2004 he did a voice thing for the Bible Mysteries, and if you saw him in the Captains with William Shatner, there was definitely some there's something going on there. So I don't know, if he wants to come back, that'd be great, but I don't know in what capacity or how deep of a role he could do at this point. But it would be very interesting and great to see him.
He's one of the most beloved captains and also one of the most beloved actors of sci-fi. So
yeah, it was
a dream to have him come back in any capacity, either if it's Picard or if it's on the Orville, whatever. I'll take it.
Yeah. Hawk. Let's bring him back as Hawk. All right, next, Maria. I mean, Adia. As I find the last one, because you've shared the green jacket with Dr. Finn. Any final comments?
Actually, I've heard some of our panelists say some similar thoughts that I've already had. You must have been reading my mind. The first thought that came to my mind were her children. And as you already know how writing has been, even though soap operas aren't as popular as they used to be, but do you remember when they would write a character in as a kid and then like 2 weeks later they'd be like 21? I feel like it feels like because the kids are actually going to go through this huge growth spurt. One, I'm predicting that they'll both be taller than her. There's a possibility, at least by the end of this season, they will be through such a large growth spurt. I think that even though, like someone mentioned post-traumatic stress, I believe that something of that nature might come up based on some preview scenes that have been released before. But also, too, where would it take them? Like, will they suddenly want to become like an officer, like their mother, and on the Orville, or would they branch out like the way Wesley did on Next Generation? Those are the things that ran through my mind. So I'm going to take a guess and say that it doesn't have to be the older one, but I wonder if the younger one is going to just veer out and do his own thing, whether this is going to help him decide as he gets older whether or not he wants to even be a part of this, or he wants to be going somewhere on solid land, or things like that. I think some drastic things are going to come for the kids with the way their mindset is going to be after this season is over.
Guys, let me just add I did make the comment about Avery because it doesn't, not necessarily the Orville, but it was told to us that he was being sidelined, and nobody wants to see a great actor sidelined that way for whatever reasons. So next question, guys, free for all, whoever wants to jump in here. What's going to happen to these two guys?
Clyden has to change, or I don't think they're going to make it, you guys. And the only way Clyden's going to change, I think, is through something happening with Topa.
No, I think you're right. JP's right. And Clyden's character, something has to happen. It's got to come to a head. There was an article that came out that talked about how, I guess during an interview, he was talking about how there's going to be something happens with Clyden that's going to really shake up the fandom. So something serious is going to happen with Clyden going into this season, and it's going to be serious and interesting, and I'm sure in the end it's going to turn out okay. But we should expect something pretty dramatic.
A sex change.
I think they're going to.
Yeah, maybe.
A sex reversal. He was born female.
Oh, Clyden was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot that.
Go back to that.
It's important, guys, that we've talked a lot about in our speculation that Topa might find out and what might happen from all that.
I think Clyden and Bortus are going to start smoking something more powerful this season.
Yeah, I think Topa's going to find out this season and be Topa will either find out in some cool sci-fi type of storyline or just with the actual words, hey, guess what? This is the story of your birth. And we'll have to make some choices and decisions right there about who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And again, Mockless might be at odds with the Planetary Union. So there's all kinds of situations that might arise.
Oh, no doubt. They can't not do that.
I heard Mocklins are going to have hair this season.
That's funny. Diego, you were going to say something?
No, I just turned the mic on to laugh.
Okay.
I think the whole Mockless thing, and we get a little bit more of the whole, Mocklin is kind of ran by jerks and the whole history of jerks type of thing. We get a little piece every season. We do know that Rena Owen, who plays Havina, big Dolly Parton fan, is making a return this season. So I'm guessing that there's no reason that wouldn't have to do with the whole Mockless story as a whole. Her return.
Okay, Shane, last word on Bortus and Clyden.
Well, like I said, something's going to happen with Clyden, and Bortus is probably going to have to make a choice. He's probably going to have to make a really, choice. Does he keep the family together? What's going to happen? So I think it's going to be pretty intense, and definitely Topa is going to find out. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen.
All right. What about, and I'm putting these two together because Alara will come back every once in a while. So I'm putting up our two favorite Zileans. What do you guys think about these two?
Yeah.
Love them both. I'm assuming we're going to Saleya this season because in the new opening theme, we do see Saleya, the Orville, going to Saleya in that new theme. So I'm assuming if we go to Saleya, there's a great chance to run into Alara or her family for some reason.
And let's not forget that Robert Picardo is Alara's dad.
Ildis Catan. I always felt we can have him back even without Alara because he's a specialist in whatever he's a specialist in. We might have a mission where we need that type of specialist to talk to.
I totally see that happening. Anybody else see that?
Yep. Totally.
I just wish we could get Billingsley back. That's going to be a harder sell right there.
Wasn't it great when all of a sudden he turned evil?
Yeah, actually, that episode with Picardo and Billingsley, that is actually my favorite performance from both actors.
Ever?
Career-wise.
Oh, wow.
That's the best I've seen Picardo do. I mean, he had me. The remorse that he obviously felt for his relationship with his daughter and the shame that he felt all came through to me. So thank you, Bob, because you really put it out there.
Any comments from the ladies on Lara and Zalea, and then Lara and Tala? Excuse me.
No, not really. Although I would just love to see both of them at least in one episode this season, or at least in a segment or so of an episode, because that would be great.
I'd love to see them work together to tear apart some Kalons with their bare hands. Let's see some of that Chilean strength.
That great strength.
Enough jars of pickles. Let's get some tin cans opened up.
Pick them up and like toss them.
Yeah, Sanctuary was one of the greatest episodes. Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks to Jonathan Frakes, great director of that episode.
Yep. Director. Any other thoughts, guys, on their two favorite Zaleans?
I think Alara's probably going to get we'll get a sneak peek of her and maybe get the two together. But this is Tala's show now, and I think we have a lot more to explore with her going into season 3.
Okay,
love them both.
Just the dynamic of her family being one of the very few Chilean families who has a long history of military service, that really intrigued me. I want to see.
Right.
I want to meet some of her family.
Okay. And sorry, go ahead. Finish that thought.
I like Tala. The end.
Elise, I see you, and I'm going to bring you in a sec. Okay, we're just gonna finish this, and we're gonna end the stream talking very quickly to Elise, who does the Orville 2D game. But let me just put up a few more images and really quick thoughts, guys. We have we still have a few minutes here. So where'd he go? Where'd he go?
That Orville 2D game is awesome, by the way. It's a lot of fun, a great story. But they're coming out with the next one, and it looks like they're really bump things up. It's really going to be something special.
Yeah, you featured it and you played it, right, JP?
I did. I played it a few times because I enjoyed it so much. But the story, they obviously understand the Orville. They understand the vibe of it, the humor of it, and they put that into the game.
Absolutely. Guys, Isaac. We kind of touched on Isaac, but what do you guys think are a lot of people speculated that other people in the fleet, in the Planetary Union fleet, won't understand Isaac and he might get some prejudice or backlash. What do you guys think?
Well, he's an interesting character because now he's kind of damned on whatever side he's on, right? So his own species is probably going to have him be an outcast, and then of course the humans are not likely to trust him either, so he's out on his own.
I also did an episode on this just a couple of weeks ago. Mark Jackson did state that in season 3, the start of season 3, everybody hates Isaac. And so I'm guessing it's up to Isaac to win the trust of his now human, the human world that he seems to be destined to live within.
Yeah, in my opinion, the Isaac story is the most important story of season 3. There needs to be some sort of we need to figure out where this is going, because it's like it's kind of the pivot of what the Orville is on. The huge double episodes in season 2 that just kind of threw the Orville on its ear, and now we need to have this thing come out. You know, what's going to happen? Not only what's going to happen with him, what's going to happen with the Kalon Society, what's happening with him and the Doctor. There's just so many questions around Isaac specifically that we need to have answered.
I have to agree with Shane on that one too. There is a lot of things where you would see hints of him actually starting to show or act like he's showing emotion, and this would be huge to be able to draw the artificial into a more real sense of emotion. I completely agree with you, Shane.
Yeah, I mean, the Kalon, we do know that their programming is highly adaptable, which is why his programming adjusted to Claire in the first place. And he tried to erase, or reconfigure files, but he said he forgot to adjust his formula for the fact that his programming is so adapts. So it could be that he's adapting to the humans around him, and his programming is starting to evolve. and become more emotional. I mean, it's probably not human. It'll probably never be human emotion. It's a new type of emotion. It's AI emotion, which in itself I think is very interesting to, have these AI sentient beings, but have their emotions be for them, their unique stamp on it. As opposed to everything always has to become, what we know as emotions or being
the only emotion I fear is his anger. He gets his eyes all red and stuff.
His eyes can come out of his head and shoot you. So
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to make him mad.
Do you guys think, I'm throwing this question out at everybody, do you guys think that Isaac was playing along from the start? We're looking here at Melissa's comment, but Isaac showed a lot of character by turning away from his species. Was he going along because he couldn't do anything at the moment, or did he have a change of heart when he betrayed them? What do you guys think?
It could be that when he went to Kalon to get woken back up, that they let him be aware of what was going on in his program. They could just flip the switch. They might have kept the truth from him while he was on the mission, so that he didn't spoil the whole thing that they're supposed to do, which would be a smart thing if you're AI.
I agree.
He got a heart from the wizard. All right. What about, guys? What about Kelly?
She's my favorite character.
This is
I identify with her the most.
Joe's spiritual sister.
I love her.
I don't identify with that, but her as a character I identify with.
This is when she says, if I never would have met Ed.
She never would have learned how to do that if she didn't meet Ed.
Now, what about Kelly, and what about the possible alternate timeline or something that's going on at the end of season 2? What do you guys think about that?
So it's interesting because Kelly now has two times when she was almost elevated to godlike status. Okay, there was the one where she actually became a god, at least to the people of that planet. But then once again, she's like the one who's like changing the entire universe by going back in time. So, and what she does is going to have a huge effect on everyone else. So she's somehow the person that pulls some pretty major levers.
Talk about multiverse.
Yeah.
I think Kelly's character, it's so funny because of the way season 2 ended. There's like this reset between Kelly and Ed that we just don't really know where anything stands. And I think that's still something we need to know. I feel like that's in the end, will they end up together or will they not? Or, what happens? And I think, for me anyways, I hope that when this thing does finally come to an end, that they are together, because it just feels right.
Yeah, that's what we're all hoping for. Hopefully it happens at the end of season 7.
Or 8 or 9.
The longer it takes, the better. She's kind of got, with their relationships, she's kind of got the same thing that Picard's got, not willing to really dive in deep into a relationship because of her duty.
Now is Rob Lowe gonna show up again and mess things up?
I was wondering that too.
I want, before we move on from Kelly, I want to ask Joe. Joe, do you look when you're playing your character, and also in Command Blue, do you look to Kelly for inspiration?
I did in the beginning. I think we're very similar. Not this picture, because I don't think I can do that. But yes, I do. I love her, and I love her character, and I do draw some similarities to Captain Emmett from her.
I have a JP question really fast.
Yep.
Do you know, did she actually do this, or is this like CGI or something that got her to cross her eyes like that?
I don't know for sure, but I always assume she just really did that. That's something people can learn.
It's interesting because a lot of actors have this bag of tricks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I will say I hate this picture.
Well, I'm already thinking how I could do that in Photoshop.
I'm sorry, Adrian. I hope you're not watching. We didn't mean to give you a non-flattering picture.
At least she wasn't sticking her tongue out.
Yeah, no, but I'm
course,
very interested to see what happens with Kelly in the new season. I love her sense of duty. I love the heartache that she kind of has. She's stopped, even with Cassius. She's willing to date Cassius, but as soon as it got more serious for him than her, she cut it off because she does not want to. She knows that, like she talks about all the time. She knows the dangers. She has a dangerous job. She doesn't want to be thinking about someone she's in love with or something like that to get that job done, or to hurt them by putting them in a bad situation.
Okay, here's another quick JP question. So is Kelly, how similar is she to the actual actor?
Well, they're both great, but I'm sure I haven't actually met her in person, though. I have friends that know her. She's a sweet girl.
Does she have that same aloof quality that Kelly can exhibit?
Well, I don't know. It depends on how many pop brownies she resynthesizes in her quarters, I guess.
All right, guys. So before we run. I don't want to run too much into our buffer time because we have maximum. We're gonna have to cut the stream in a little bit, and we want to get to Elise. Last thoughts on Ed Mercer, on Seth's character, guys.
I'm positive he stays alive.
Give that man a cowboy hat.
No,
go all the way.
He goes all the way.
Ed Mercer.
He'll be able to open up pickle jars now. He'll be able to open up his own pickle jar.
I think Ed is the most important captain of the fleet. He started off as nobody's first choice. He is the star of the fleet. He probably doesn't even realize it. But this dude saved the entire planet. He saved the entire universe. That's gonna give him some weight. I'm sure he has fans. If he was to go to a space station or back to Earth, I'm sure people are gonna be pointing to him. Hey, Captain Mercer, big fan, stuff like that. He's probably not ready for that, so we might see some of that actually.
Yeah, that's Sheriff Mercer to you, son.
Oh, that's right, Sheriff Mercer.
Wasn't it great to see him on the simulator, dressed like this?
And I'm pretty sure. I think we might get another Western thing going on in the new season, but I don't know how. I don't know if it's time travel. I don't know if it's the environmental simulator. I have no idea. But I think there's some more Western references going on this season.
I think he's also. I think he's going to be challenged more this season than he has previously. I think he's going to face something that's going to be, you can't imagine anything being worse than the Kalon attack. But I think something's going to really challenge him, where we're going to see the Orville crew broken in some way.
He might actually be put in that position where he has to send Kelly to her death. She
Something's
survives because she's awesome, but the emotional weight on that.
It's definitely going to be. He's going to have a challenge this season that we haven't seen before.
Listen, guys. The way they step things up in season 2, and they're going to step things up again. We're going to be blown away. I know nothing about it, but I do realize that we're going to get an amazing season.
Absolutely.
Any other last thoughts on Ed, guys? On Ed Mercer? Anybody? Adia, Maria.
I'm just looking forward to the 3rd season. I feel like we've been waiting a decade for it. I'm just really excited for it. It's a long time coming, and with the formatting being slightly different than it had been in the past seasons, we're ready. I'm ready with the popcorn.
I think he's going to meet a talking teddy bear.
Before we invite Elise on for the last 5 minutes, Eric, can you show us the puppet of you?
I don't know if we can. Actually, I was going to try to.
If you hold it in front of you of yourself.
Let's see if I can do that. Hold on, wait. I'll try one better. Hold on.
You started cloaking.
There's an upcoming series called Puppeteer Union, and
put him in front of your shirt.
Oh, your shirt. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Love it. That's
I
awesome.
love it.
And that's a little spoiler from one of their episodes, guys. So make sure you want to check that out.
Yeah, he's even in the green screen backdrop. See, he's
Oh, he is. Yeah. Nice.
he's with the crew.
Yeah, it has a portable cloaking device.
Yeah,
Can't wait to see what new technology we have in season 3. But that's a discussion for another day.
yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go for we're going to use our last 5 minutes of buffer time to welcome Elise from the Orville 2D game. Hello, Elise. Welcome. It's been a long time coming, but we're glad to have you here.
Hi guys.
Hi, Elise.
Hello.
I'm hoping that you can hear me okay. I've got the mic set up. Is it coming through okay?
You're good.
Yeah.
You're good. Yeah.
Yeah. I also just wanted to show you this little cutie as well. This husky.
Aw.
Bridge dog.
Oh my gosh.
He's just been chilling on my lap while watching you guys. I've had so much fun watching you guys. It's been such an awesome conversation. It's so fun. I'm sorry to interrupt it. I just wanted to keep watching.
We wanted to end on a high note, and so we want us to tell us, for people who don't know, what inspired you to do what is your game exactly, and what inspired you to do it? And if you have any images, I would be happy to share them.
Sure. And I can share my screen?
Yep.
I'll just press share.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see if this works. So actually, this wasn't my idea at all to start the game. My friend, who's also a huge fan, he contacted me and said, I really want to do like a Game Boy Orville game that we can actually play on the Game Boy. And he asked me to write the script for it. And I said, yes, of course I'll write the script for it. So I wrote the script, and then I started getting really excited about the prospect of like a kind of pixel game. So I started doing some of the pixel art, and I showed him, and he said, Elise, like, we can't use any of these colors because Game Boy is only 8-bit, so you can only have like 8 colors. But I was like, but look at this, like, look how cool it looks. We've got to make it. So I asked him, would it be all right if I did the PC version and you do the Game Boy version? And he said, that's fine. So I took over and did the PC version.
Wow. And thank you for sharing it, by the way, because if I do it with 9 people, 10 people on the panel, I
won't click into that tab. I'll stay in this tab.
Yeah. Okay. And I played this too. This is a lot of fun, guys. JP, you want to share your experience with it? Because I know you've done it too.
I thought it was so much fun. The whole ship is there in a 2D format, and as you can see, there's some really great cameos from the production crew. There's Burke, Kit Stolen was in there, Tom Cosentino's in the game. I think Brandon Fyatt was in the game, as well as all the characters we love from the show.
Not in yet, but he will be.
But one great thing that you did that actually made me go, whoa, is we return to the bio ship from If the Stars Should Appear. We have a little adventure on there, and I thought that was really cool. Like, we're actually getting ties into episodes, but also it's just a fun. It breaks the fourth wall a little bit as far as a 2D universe goes. I'll let you guys find out what that means by playing the game, and I'm really looking forward to the upcoming Orville adventure you guys are making.
Yes. So we've decided to kind of go a kind of evolution of the first episode. So we've gone to voxel art. So I don't know if you guys are following Phoenix Development, but we've got a few little videos of the characters. And voxel art is kind of like pixel, but like a 3D version. So it's going to be 3D, which is going to be even more fun to do.
Awesome. Now, I just want to be clear, guys. We are going to have Elise back for an entire interview, but I do want to have, and I think she may also be on Maria's channel as well.
Yes, I look forward to that as well.
I'm excited.
And make sure you guys check out this link to the Orville game. And before we wrap up, Elise, I do want to ask you, how can we support you? What is the best way to support your project?
honestly, like I would love some voxel artists. So voxel art is kind of like Minecraft, where it's like boxes on top. Like Minecraft is voxel. So if anyone's interested, we really need help with assets. So game assets, like just recreating objects from the Orville universe, recreating the ship, recreating like fun stuff like that. If anyone's interested in doing that, then please reach out to me, and I would love your help. I'd appreciate it.
I think I have someone for you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, guys. I just want to make sure what the next virtual TrekCon is before I don't want to make a mistake. The next group up is at 7:30, and let's see. I want to make sure I don't say the wrong thing here. And I think Melissa and Ryan will be there, and it's at 7:30 Eastern. It is Star Trek documentarian Brian Falk Weiss. So, yeah, that's right. Yeah, Star Trek documentarian Brian Falk Weiss. And so you guys are headed over there in a couple of minutes to continue with Virtual TrekCon 3. And guys, thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Thank you, Elise. Thank you, JP. Thank you, Shane. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Eric, Adega. We got to have both of you back together. Joe, Maria, everybody. Thank you guys all. Really quick, everybody with YouTube channels. JP, what's next?
Talking the Orville, everything Orville is next. We got it all coming up and it's ramping up all the way to and beyond June 2nd. Join your fandom at Talking the Orville.
Okay, awesome. Eric, YouTube channel, what's next?
YouTube channel. We got a Planetary Step, new episodes coming out very soon. Planetary Diary, new interviews coming up very soon. The new spinoff, Puppeteer Union. I'm first announcing it here. Puppeteer Union is coming out very soon, featuring the ongoing adventures of Rick, Commander Rick Gerald, and I didn't get a chance to announce it, but I'm announcing it for the first time. I will be appearing in a movie. We're going to talk more about it, where I will be appearing with Star Trek alum, and we'll talk more about that in the upcoming week on Orville Nation. So I'll be more than happy to share it with you guys.
Awesome. We will be talking about that. Shane, what's next for you guys?
The podcast Unleashed every Friday. We're live. Come check us out. Spend a couple hours talking about your favorite stuff.
All right, Matt. What's next on your channel?
Okay, Pranakash Productions. These days it's interviews, and then I promise I am gonna finish episode 4, Egotastic Trek, that is called The Oracle, as in the Matrix.
Oh, wow. Okay. Maria Tiantali, what's next?
Gosh, I've been so busy. I've been supporting the TV show Promised Land a lot with Latino Slant. So I've been kind of busy doing that. But I've got Cameron coming back again for some paranormal talks. And as I said, I think I'm gonna have Dave Beatty and Eric coming on, the creators of the soon-to-be comic book finally. And the lovely Elise, she's gonna be joining me. I might have to bump you up sooner, but that would be fun. And let's see, Dino from the Late Late Horror Show. I just got so much going on.
All right, awesome. Adega, really quick, you have a YouTube channel too?
I do. I do my books audio before I clean them up in editing. So I'm finishing up one, starting 2 others. You want to follow along before they get into print, they'll be there.
Okay. Well, listen again. I want to thank everybody again. I want to thank Ryan, Melissa, and Sirac, and everybody else from the Virtual TrekCon crew. And of course, thank you to Tom Costantino, Seth MacFarlane, and everybody from the Orville community. All of the Orville production crew, cast, everybody. One of the greatest fandoms. Of course, we are part of the greater Trekdom. So thank you to everybody. Everybody stay safe. Thank you again to Thanks again to Elise for jumping in at the very end. Everybody
Thank
stay
you
safe.
again.
Have an awesome day. This is really quick. This is the link to the next. This is the link to Virtual TrekCon, guys. The next stream right here. So if you guys are just joining Virtual TrekCon, this is the next stream you got to go to. It starts at 7:30. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
John
people.
Burns.
Long and
Thank
prosperous.
you.
Guys.